Brotherhood. It's a special bond. Support is unconditional. No matter the differences or challenges, the other will be there. All brothers need comfort. They all need a playmate. And they all need a friend.
You don't want to, neglect anyone just because they have, a disability, and especially as my little brother. That's just things that, any big brother would do for their little brother, just to let them see something, experience something. It's very important for Jamaris to, have that love.
When a lot of times people are talking about Jamison, I remind them of the two sons, that we have two sons. Jamison and Jamaris, I call them my two sons, not S-O-N-S, but they're my two S-U-N-S, my two sons, because both of them brighten my day each and every day.
Jamison was born in Monroe, North Carolina. And even at an early age, Jamison was always active and playing sports.
Growing up in Monroe, it's just a country town. A lot of kids that you grew up with were the same ones that you graduated high school with. Basketball really was like my first sport that I started playing when I was 6 years old. And then I got introduced to football when I was in 4th grade. Ever since a little kid, it's been multi-sport, just football and basketball.
We knew early on that Jamison had gifts. And not only did we know it, other people recognized that as well. So he's always been fun to watch.
But when Jamison was 9 years old, Brenda and James Crowder expected another son, Jamaris, who was born with Down syndrome.
My husband and I found out that, Jamaris would be born with a birth defect.
They kind of gave us an option, which it wasn't an option for us, to abort, but it was an option for us.
Jamaris is diagnosed Down syndrome, and that's developmentally delays. That entails, many things as far as nonverbal, he's not able to communicate. There's so many things right now that he's not able to do. We did, mention it to Jamison, you're going to have a little brother, and at some point we did tell him, the doctors are saying that, there may be some birth defect, and I said, there may be or there may not be, but you're just going to have a little brother to take care of.
She just told me that, he had Down syndrome. Being young, I didn't really understand, because I always wanted a little brother. We're aware of Jamaris' conditions, but we look at it like he doesn't have any disabilities. My mom treats him like they treat me, and like they treat anybody else.
I remember the first time that Jamaris gave his first big giggle, and he and Jamison were playing together, and we weren't the ones that got him to do that. Jamison was the one that was able to get that out of him.
One of the biggest challenges with Jamaris' disability is communication. But the two brothers found a way to communicate through sports.
Growing up as a child, Jamison just had the gift. He had the knack for the game, both football and basketball. A lot of times if Jamaris was just home, he would just sit and bounce the basketball, but we felt like he had learned that from watching Jamison.
I guess he watched me enough, came to enough of my high school games to, see how to dribble. He's been able to pick up things, because that's ways that he can learn.
Jamaris watched his brother Jamison become a superstar at Monroe High School in both basketball and football. When recruiting time came, it was Duke head coach David Cutcliffe that noticed Jamaris.
One of the first things that truly impressed me about Jamison, I've watched his little brother watch him play basketball. I'm there, the people are there. It's my one visit as a head coach to go, visit with he and the family. He was locked into brother, which is right where he should have been. That's the priority. That's the kind of young man that you want to be associated with your program.
It probably sent a message to Coach Cutcliffe, because wherever one is, we're going to have both of them. I felt that Coach Cutcliffe was a man of integrity. So, it was exciting when Duke came.
I always wanted to play in the ACC, and then Coach Cut, you know, I knew that was a guy that I wanted to play up under. I just felt comfortable with that, and that's why I went to Duke. And everything, you know, it's pretty much played out how I planned it and how I think Coach Cut planned it.
Duke expected Jamison Crowder to become a big-time playmaker at Duke, and that's exactly what he's been.
It is definitely a benefit when you can call, you know, a 4-yard or 5-yard play and look up and it goes for 75, 80 yards because of talent. With Jamison, it has the ability to go the distance every time.
Throwing it deep down the middle, got Jamison Crowder running free, caught it at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Jamison Crowder.
Jamison Crowder's greatest gift is total body control. On the ground, making cuts, in the air. When he comes out of a cut, it's just so sudden that people can't respond to it.
2 years ago, as a sophomore, Jamison made one of the biggest catches in Duke history in the final seconds to beat North Carolina and to qualify for its first bowl game in 19 years.
Takes the snap, looks, still looks, dumps it in the middle.
Touchdown!
Touchdown!
Jamison Crowder!
Once I scored, I was just happy. And, you know, it was a game-winning catch against your rival. You know, that play did make an impact on our program.
Last year, Jamison became a superstar with 108 catches for over 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns, helping Duke to a school record 10 wins and its first ever ACC Coastal Division title.
We have to get back to the ACC championship, and we have to, you know, pretty much win it because, you know, we don't want to have a season, a disappointing season after you had a great season when we got, you know, pretty much the same guys coming back this year. So I think as a team, that's our motivation. You know, we got a taste of it last year, and now this year we want to go back and win it.
On every Saturday, no matter where Duke plays, Jamison will always have his most loved and loyal fans in the stands.
We've always enjoyed having the opportunity to spend as much time together as possible. Every weekend is truly a blessing. We're heading to Durham or Winston-Salem or wherever.
The deep ball looking for Crowder, and he's got it inside the 5, touchdown!
Dumps it underneath to Crowder. Jamison's juking and jumping, and into the end zone he goes for the touchdown.
That's what he plays so hard for. When he can make those type catches and plays, he loves it.
Wherever Jamison makes plays on the field, Jamaris is always there, cheering on his big brother.
When we go, my family is incomplete if I go and Jamaris is not with us. Just to be a part of everything that our family experiences. I can't have it any better. If he comes in, if we're there for the weekend, and no matter how many people are there, he's going to say, "Where's Jamaris?" You know, he's going to speak to everybody else, and then the next question out of his mouth is going to be, "Where's Jamaris?" And then he's going to make his way to Jamaris. He's going to find him, and he's going to give him a hug.
You know, I never really make Jamaris feel like he's not my brother or anything, or make him feel, you know, any different. You know, I love Jamaris. I definitely care for Jamaris.
He would probably say Jamison is the best big brother that anybody could have. Jamison's always been special with Jamaris, and I appreciate that. I'm sorry. And like I said, I just appreciate that love that Jamison shows for Jamaris.
And while Jamison dreams of playing in the NFL next year, he knows his brother will be with him every step of the way.
Football is definitely my ticket, and I want to hopefully, you know, go to the next level after this season and, you know, have a successful career. Jamaris, you know, that's part of my motivation a lot of times, you know, being, I know one day I'm about to be able to take care of Jamaris.
I often remind Jamison, I said, you know, you're Jamaris' big brother. And when your mom and dad is gone, you know, you'll have each other. And, you know, I always remind Jamison, you take care of him. And I believe that he will, just because I know the kind of young man that he is. I feel that if I'm gone and Jamison is left as his sole provider and caretaker, then I'll know Jamaris will be taken care of.